Yet another example how Jack Florida's became very clear when the hurricane broke. Washed up on the shore were kilos of hard drugs, showing us even their ocean does poke. What the hell is with Florida, where all crazy shit seems to come from? A week won't pass by without lots of stories proving that Florida's dumb.
All right, everybody, welcome to This Week in Florida segment. In kind of a typhoon season or something there in Florida. They got a little bit of rain and they're just freaking out. I don't get it.
Whiners.
Babies.
It was hot here the other day.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of same thing.
Well, it's actually been pretty nice here in Indiana for the most part, though. The last couple of days been.
Yeah, it's supposed to be up to 90 again next week.
That figures. We're going to go to Sugarloaf Key, Florida, Joe. Sugarloaf Key.
Sugarloaf Key. Who the hell would name their city Sugarloaf Key?
Well, a Keys man strips naked and attacks a woman he met at a bar, according to the deputy's report. Florida Keys man took off all his clothes before attacking two women he met at a bar in Key West, according to Key West deputies. Joseph McNeil, age 49, of Sugarloaf Key, was arrested Thursday afternoon on charges of battery and resisting arrest without violence. Monroe County Sheriff's Office spokesman Adam Leinhart said McNeil met the women at a bar on Duval Street. After offering to drive them back to their hotel, McNeil asked if he could stop at his house first and check on his ill dog. Aww. When they got to McNeil's home on Driftwood Lane, they started drinking shots of alcohol. At some point, McNeil left her company and reappeared fully butt naked. As the woman tried to leave, McNeil blocked the door and a physical altercation ensued. The women told him, I wonder if he's related to that guy that was naked in Utah running through the hospital. Or maybe that guy belongs in Florida.
Maybe it's his son.
Yeah.
Maybe he's from Florida.
The women told deputies that McNeil placed his hands around one of their throats and pushed her into a television, breaking it. The women said they tried to then escape through the porch, but McNeil pushed one of them down the porch stairs, causing her to land on the concrete below. Deputies said the woman hid in the mangroves until the police arrived. When deputies knocked on the door of McNeil's home, nobody answered. Deputies said blankets had been placed all over the windows so nobody could see inside. One of the women had bruises on her throat, chest, and arms. While the other complained of lower back and hip pain, they did decline medical attention. Both would identify McNeil as their attacker. So I wonder when they had the lineup there if he was butt naked so they could properly identify him.
Well, okay, so he's at a bar with him, right? Yeah. And he said, I'll drive you back home. And then he said, well, I got to check on my sick dog, which wasn't mentioned again.
Yeah.
And then, so they thought, oh, yeah, we'll come in and do shots. What could ever go wrong? Sometimes, I'm never saying it's okay for a guy to attack a girl. But sometimes you girls have to keep yourselves out of these situations, or guys.
Yeah.
And that would be a situation where, just because there was another one with you thought you were safe. Bad idea. All people involved.
Out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, police say a 28-year-old man awaiting sentencing on an attempted murder charge tossed urine on the prosecutor inside of a Florida courtroom. The attack happened Wednesday in the Broward Circuit Judge Susan Alspector's courtroom. Albert Navarez is now also charged with battery for his attack on the Broward Assistant State Attorney Andrew Newman. Broward County Sheriff's arrest report says the urine went inside of Newman's mouth and all over his clothing.
Oh, gross.
The report did not say what kind of container Narvaez used to store the urine in the courtroom. Miami Herald reports that Narvaez charged at Newman, flung the urine at him, and yelled, "He told me to do it!" He didn't say who he was referring to when he yelled that. The sentencing hearing was postponed. Chief Assistant State Attorney Jeff Marcus said they're absolutely incensed by this incident. So how the hell did this guy get in a whatever container?
How did he get a container? How did he get it in there? What the hell was he talking about? There's a lot of questions here. And that article really didn't provide any answers. It was very incomplete reporting, and I'm shocked because normally our media is so good.
I'm guessing a lot of heads are going to roll on that one because that guy should have never been in possession of anything whatsoever.
Right.
And there's a lot of missed opportunities for the whether he was in prison or county jail or whatever. He should have been checked a little bit better, I think.
And still, if he was able to smuggle something like that, why didn't he just throw that? Why do you have to pee in it?
Yeah. Gross, man, gross. Florida.
Florida.
Out of Safety Harbor, Florida, authorities say a burglar broke into a Florida home, cooked himself an early morning meal, and then told the residents there to go ahead and go back to sleep. The home's occupant. We've had similar stories to this in the past where people have tidied up.
Clean house, yeah.
Where are these people at in my life? That's what I mean.
Well, yeah.
The home's occupant told investigators he awoke to discover a man cooking and eating sometime after 4 a.m. on Tuesday. Fox 13 in Tampa reported the burglar ran from the house when the resident called 911. Deputies from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office tracked the suspect down in a wooded area behind the home. Deputies say Gavin Cram, a 19-year-old Marine, allegedly entered the home through an unlocked rear door. An arrest report mentioned that the suspect may have been under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah, perhaps.
I didn't know Marines drink alcohol.
So they called 911. So it took time for them to respond, right?
Yeah.
And they found him in the woods behind the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the further he got.
Yeah. Maybe the alcohol slowed him down a little bit. Or maybe he was full from all the bacon and
it
eggs.
was a good meal. I guess I would have asked him if he was cooking something for me.
Out of Jacksonville, Florida, Florida man parks his smart car in his kitchen so it won't blow away during the storms.
Probably pretty smart, really.
Pretty compact. It fits in there pretty well.
Yeah.
It started as a lighthearted challenge between a Florida couple. Can a smart car fit into their kitchen? The answer, as you can see, is yes. Yes, it can. Patrick Eldridge parked a smart car in his kitchen to protect it from Hurricane Dorian because he didn't want it to blow away and prove that he can park his car inside. We'll post all the pictures in here for you guys.
Is that dog going to pee in the tires?
Yeah, sure. I can see it's got a Florida State Seminole license plate on it, so it probably deserves to blow away anyway.
Yeah.
Jessica Eldridge said her car was already parked in the garage. To avoid cleaning the garage out, her husband decided to park the car in the house instead. I said there was no way he could do it. He said he could, Jessica said. So he opened the double doors and parked it right inside. She was amazed that he could fit it in there. He got it in with no problems. That sounds a little sexual, the way that reads.
You know, I was going to say something, and I thought, that's not right. I shouldn't say that.
Dorian was skirting Florida's coast Wednesday, narrowly missing Jacksonville as it headed north along Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina coastlines. Category 2 storm has devastated the Bahamas, where rescue crews have only begun taking the full measure of the damage. With the car inside the middle of the kitchen, Jessica had to move around it to cook and serve dinner. I'm hoping he will put it out pretty soon once the wind dies down, she said. There's no room and there's no way, and it's in the way, and my dogs are really confused by it being in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you drive a smart car, you pretty much deserve for it to blow away anyway.
I'm just trying to picture what Kathy would have said if, you know what, I could barely get the Camaro in that garage.
What do you mean I can't fit it in there? Watch this. All right, it's time for the big story out of Florida this week, the one that inspired the stellar song for This Week in Florida.
That was a damn good song, wasn't it?
Bricks of cocaine wash up on Florida beaches from Hurricane Dorian waves. More than a dozen bricks of coke washed up on 2 Florida beaches Tuesday from waves churned up by Hurricane Dorian. At around 8 a.m., Melbourne police officer on foot patrol at Paradise Beach Park was alerted by a beach guard that something suspicious appeared to have washed ashore. When the officer checked it out, he found a package wrapped in a way that is consistent with narcotics. The brick was tested, and it was determined to be a kilo of cocaine, the spokeswoman said. On the outside of the brick appeared to be the beginning of a word, but the only letters that are visible on it are D-I-A-M-A-N-T. Melbourne police declined to comment on what was written on the brick, citing its investigation. Over in Cocoa Beach, about 20 miles north of there, police were alerted to a duffel bag that had washed ashore and found 15 bricks of cocaine inside. In the Orlando area, 1 kilo of cocaine is estimated to be worth $20,000 to $30,000. The bag has since been turned over to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol protection. Dorian, which is now Category 2, began lashing at the east coast of central Florida Tuesday night, prompting hurricane warnings for all of the coastal areas. Yeah, I mean, somebody's out of a lot of money right there for it to be washed away.
Good for those people for turning it in, because 20 to 30,000. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not really associated with the underbelly of society, but I'm sure I could have found somebody to buy that for 1,000 and got rid of it.
Yeah. Well, folks, that's all we got for This Week in Florida. We appreciate you watching this segment, and we're going to touch on This Week in Politics next. Joe, we're going to talk about a mom who's looking to legally make prostitution legal.
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Gambling, pot, prostitution. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
All right. Stay tuned for This Week in Politics.